Hello guys, a bad day for the Russian army is a good day for all the peaceful, freedom-loving people. So today is a good day because during just these 24 hours, Russia has experienced a number of serious military defeats and what's interesting in very different spheres of their war life. First of all, they had two very unsuccessful launches, one on Baikonur, that is Russia's main space field, where after the launch of Soyuz MS-28, they somehow seriously damaged the platform, the only platform they have for these manned space programs. Most likely, they have just cancelled these programs for a very long period of time, if not forever. Actually, this happens for the first time since 1961 and demonstrate that modern Russians are really good at cancelling everything that is important for the survival of their federation. Another failed launch ended in Orenburg region. That was the test of the intercontinental ballistic missile Avangard, which was supposed to terrify us, but in the result terrified those Russians in the Orenburg region who witnessed the explosion of the failed missile. All because that is an old Soviet crap. So don't let Putin trick you. As I record this video, Russia's Shadow Fleet tanker is burning in the waters of the Black Sea near the shore of Turkey. And a precision strike to Yelabuga military construction site also destroyed an important for the Russian war industry site. So let's discuss how everything is burning and collapsing inside the Russian Federation, because this is important for the implementation of the only working peace plan, right, to defeat and demilitarize Russia. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Putin in The Hague, subscribe and we will discuss this beautiful day on the channel sometime really soon. And please share these videos to spread the truth. So let's begin perhaps with the most epic failure, which perhaps made a lot of people inside Russia very disappointed because their space programs, which are the heritage of the Soviet times, are cancelled. I'm talking about these manned programs, specifically various missions of Soyuz MS-28, this international space station, because they literally destroyed the main platform they were using for these launches located in Baikonur. Satellite images, videos, and most importantly, comments from various Russian space enthusiasts and experts demonstrate that this damage is very serious. It happened after the launch of Soyuz MS-28 and something that was not supposed to be near fell on that platform, damaging it and literally cancelling these manned space programs. You know how important all that for the Russian image, and I believe it's really difficult to imagine something similar happening in other active in space and various cosmic programs countries. That is a very bright demonstration of the level of Russia's incompetence, negligence, and, to tell you the truth, obvious weakness. So now is not the time to appease such losers. Now is the time to demilitarize them, defeat them, and then maybe give a chance for new nations to build something more democratic. Another failed launch was witnessed by a lot of people in Orenburg region, in a settlement Yasny. The plan was totally different. When Russians are trying to save their economy from the collapse, when they are trying to explain their constant failures on the front lines, inability to take what they want, failed blitzkrieg, and manipulate the opinion of some non-professional people in the White House, they keep testing their missiles, Oreshniks, and this time it was Avangard, intercontinental ballistic missile that, of course, Putin often mentions, forgetting about other economic, social problems inside Russia, as if, you know, like these missiles solve the problems of thousands of already seriously traumatized war criminals, which they name soldiers, absent roads, absent toilets. But anyway, They were testing it, perhaps showing the strengths of the Russian army, and exposed another weakness because that missile exploded not where they wanted it to, it did not reach the target, and once again exposed the weakness of the Russian Federation and their outdated resources, because the majority of the weapons and instruments that they threaten us with were constructed during the Cold War. So yes, the Cold War continues to some extent. First of all, because the ideology behind Russia's aggression is very similar. And second, because they use the weapons they stored in times of the Cold War now. Don't be afraid of Russia. Help us demilitarize it and make this world a safer place. And subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity. That is important. Also, another important strike took place in the Black Sea that we greatly and effectively liberated from the majority of Russia's Black Sea fleet, and now we clear it from their shadow fleet. Russians reported that one of their shadow fleet tankers is burning not far away from Turkey, and they are looking for traitors and enemies because the influence was from outside. So it's not someone smoked on the ship, but someone smoked in the waters of the Black Sea. Thumbs up for that, because the shadow fleet is not only an instrument with the help of which Russia managed to survive during these 4 years of the failed blitzkrieg, but also very dangerous for our ecology and well-being. And the final, but trust me, there were more, but the final that I include in this video, destruction, demilitarization took place in Yelabuga. They have a military auto facility that produces various parts for the military vehicles, and it is burning very, very bright, delivering the message to the population of very distant parts of the Russian Federation that not just the blitzkrieg failed, but war actually returned back to Russia where it belongs. That is the best and the strongest message. And I believe that more and more of this apolitical population understands that they made a great mistake when they wished for war, and now they enjoy it with air raid alerts, with explosions and detonations, fires and destructions, and totally destroyed Russia's budget by these enormous expenses on the destruction of Ukrainian supermarkets, instead of, building these supermarkets or kindergartens in extremely poor regions of the Russian Federation. And those of you who follow the corruption scandal in Ukraine, once again, I don't feel bad talking about that, because the fact that we have these investigations, scandals, is another proof that Ukraine, our civil society, is fighting against corruption. Can you imagine similar scandals taking place in Russia? No, because their corruption is the main instrument of power. And in Ukraine, we fight against that fiercely, and without any evidence, but simply because of these image problems, the head of Zelensky administration, Yermak, decided to resign. And I fully support this decision, because honestly, I did not like Yermak. But I'm talking as a subjective Ukrainian, and I'm proud that we care about our image, we care about the investigation. And looking at what happens in many countries in the European Union, in the US right now, I feel that Ukraine is doing pretty well in fighting the corruption. So maybe sometime soon we can be not an example of corruption, but an example of how to fight corruption. Remember that tomorrow we plan to meet 9 p.m. Kyiv for our live conversation, and also check my new channel, Anna Danilchuk, for weekly longer conversations. And of course, the Black Friday. And we have -15 on everything in our merch shop that has lots of meaningful, beautiful presents that magically turn you into the ambassadors of Ukraine. And we need your support. We need these conversations that can change a lot. Just have a look at this recent scandal around the Kremlin plan, which was delivered by Witkoff, and so many people wanted to disguise it as the American plan, but everything became exposed. And this support of the people of the United States, this understanding that it's very wrong to appease the Kremlin helped a lot. So thank you so much, beautiful ambassadors, and do check the merch shop. The link is in the description of this video, same as the link to my other social media platforms: X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord. And thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!